y'all something. I don't think a lot of people really understand what had happened. Jeremiah Farmer didn't have easy access to R. Kelly. He was allowed access to R. Kelly, okay? Because here's the thing. He was visiting the psych doctor. He walked away and proceeded to enter a pod where he did not belong. And here's the catch. Once you leave in and out of the pod, you have to be buzzed back in. The inmates are kept separate from everything else that's going on inside the jail. There is always a key term. That's what we call them where I'm from. Y'all might call them bailiff or jail staff. In every pod, there's a control desk that controls the exit and the entry of the pod. When he walked out and entered that pod, he had to be buzzed in. And in order for him to get in R. Kelly's cell, if the cell door wasn't already open, he had to be buzzed in that too. When you walk out of the pod and leave the pod to go to medical, the psych med, church, intake, or the kitchen, you have to out and buzz back in. Anybody that's entering a pod, jail staff or inmate, have to be buzzed in. When they get ready to leave, they have to be buzzed out. Everything is controlled at the control desk. Every pod has a control desk inside the pod. He wasn't just able to just walk in there without assistance. Someone buzzed him in, and whoever that person is that buzzed him in is responsible for what happened to R. Kelly. This is not a coincidence. They had a job to do, and they didn't do it. And they didn't do it on purpose. And another thing that's suspicious about him entering that pod is the fact that if the officer is not familiar with you, meaning if they don't know that you belong in that pod or not, they will ask you your name before buzzing you into that pod. And they will look on their roster to see if you belong in that pod or not before they let you in. That man didn't have easy access to R. Kelly. That man was allowed access to R. Kelly. And the officer that allowed him access to R. Kelly needs to be held accountable for his actions. He allowed that man to come in that pod and deliberately, intentionally attack another inmate. When I say the key term, the jail staff, the bailiff, and or the officer, I'm talking about the same person. The person who was over the inmates in that pod. Every pod has a different officer, bailiff, key turn, whatever you want to call them. Every section of the jail, every part of the jail has that person inside that pod. And it's a control desk right there. You cannot just walk in and out of a pod, inmate or staff. You have to be buzzed in and out. The control desk controls the entry and the exit of the pod. And it also allows the officer, the key turn, whatever you want to call them, the bailiff, jail staff, whatever, to have communication with other staff members inside the jail.